All right, thanks for joining me today on my channel. This is Discovering My Dividends. I'm the 1% Investor, and today we're talking about how I built my strategy, and I guess this is kind of my lesson number 2, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I want to start with brokerages, and so I think this is hugely important for a new investor. If you're investing for the first time, maybe you don't even know what a broker is. So, well, let's take a look here. So if we have, oh boy, I can't even get this to work. Oh, there we go. We have our stock exchange. So in Canada, we have the TSX. Okay, so then a broker is going to go to the TSX and request to buy stock. Now I'm simplifying this. This is not technical because I'm sure there's parts of this that I don't even know, but this is just to kind of give you a visual of how this works. Now, if you're super experienced and you want to detail this for anybody, you go ahead. And we're just gonna go, oh boy, seller. Okay, so we have you going to the TSX, and well, actually technically the seller's going to the TSX as well, saying they're selling. You can set a certain price, or you can accept the market price. The market price is kind of what is where it's at for this moment. So I always usually go in with a set price. I don't go out, like if it's the stock's really high, I don't go out and choose a price that's 20% below where it's at right now. I usually pick a price and in that range, and then I just say I won't go any higher than this. So usually a stock that's already brought. So this is you here. All right, so that's kind of the whole process of you go to your broker, they go to the TSX, the seller is going to the broker, or the price is out there and the seller goes, hey, this is the price that I want to sell for, and they then go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's kind of the simplistic side of it. Where a broker is for an online trader, so if you're trading for yourself and you're trading online, but before you'd go to a person, you'd say I want this, and then they go to somebody else. And it used to be back, I don't know how long ago, it was 80s and 90s, they had people on the floor kind of waving and writing stuff down and giving little pieces of paper to each other, and it was a whole process, whereas now it's all electronic, super simple. So when you want a broker, you want an online broker, essentially. So that allows you to trade on your own, allows you to make your own decisions, so on and so forth. So I use WealthSimple. I'm just going to put it out there. I have a link down below. If you're looking for an online broker, this is the one I use. I like them. I trust them. They're not paying me to do this video, but I've tried a whole bunch of different brokers. I come back to WealthSimple, and yeah, and they're not perfect, but they're exactly what you need. And I'm going to get into what those things are right now. Easy to use. It's the easiest platform I've used. Now, if you find a different one easier, use that one. I mean, definitely use one that's easiest. Above that, the first thing that you definitely need is no fees. If you're a new investor, if you are starting with very low amounts of money, like anybody can really start this. If you have any kind of ability to put even $10 a month down, or $50 a month down, $100, you can start trading with 0 fees. Now, with WealthSimple, I have 0 fees on Canadian ETFs and the stocks that I buy and sell. They do charge me a fee if I go to the US. I can upgrade, which is a monthly fee, and then I get free US trading as well, which if I was doing tons of trading would still make it better. But yeah, let's not do that. So let's take a look here. So how that really works out. If I do a little chart, and let's say I buy a stock at $10. So I buy that stock. If I'm buying it with WealthSimple and my no fees, I can buy it here, and as long as I don't sell it for less than $10, I'm going to break even. Okay, so that is my break-even point. When I sell it, is the same price that I bought it at. So that makes sense. Buy it for $10, sell it for $10. There's no loss. If I go with a broker that charges me, let's say they charge a $10 fee, and we'll just say $10 for the buy and the sell. So it might be, $5 and whatever. So say I buy one share one share at $10 a share. All right, that's $10. But now I add on a fee for buying and selling plus another $10. So now that's $20 if I have a fee. So here is my new break-even point. I've got a $10 stock when I buy it. If I sell that one share, I have to sell it for $20. Anything below that line is a loss. Anything up here is profit. Right on the line is break even. So there you are. I have now explained why you don't want fees. Now, I trade one share all the time. So when I'm currently doing my investment challenge that I'm on was to take $50 a month and create $1 million in less than 7 years. I'm currently on track to do it for between, well, we'll say 5 and 6 years. Pardon me. Okay. So the broker part of it is super important for a new person, especially, or someone not trading a lot of money or a lot of volume of stocks. So that, you know, you have to go up a huge amount. So in this case, where I do the one share, that is 100%. I have to increase the value of that stock to get to break even. If I had bought 10 shares, I'd only have to go up $1, so up to $11, because each share would help pay off that expense of that $10 fee. So the broker really helps out there, $10 fee, right? Well, let's look at essentially the combination of why brokers are charging fees. Well, the big brokers, they don't really care about the little people. They make more money off of their big buys and sells, so they don't want to waste their time and effort on smaller accounts. And then maybe they have a different official reason, but I mean, essentially, if they wanted small accounts, in a lot of cases they could get them because people already deal with big banks in a lot of cases. So they can do that. The smaller brokers are trying to grow their clientele, so they want everybody coming in, and they don't know who's going to bring in what kind of money, but they're bringing in millions of dollars to be traded with inexperienced people. They don't lose money if you lose money. That's simply how it is. You lose money. So paying a fee with not very much money or not a lot of trading going on makes your margin of error much higher, because you can't just sell it for the same price as you bought it for. And so these smaller brokers, they want you to come in. Now, they make money in that transaction somehow. I don't know how to really explain those details. It's not really important. I know a while back somebody was complaining that, oh, those brokers, they say there are no fees, but they're making money off your money. Yeah, but they're not charging you anything for the service they're providing. Whereas somebody else, like the big banks, they're still making that money. They're charging you on top of it. They're charging you to use your money to make money. So I don't know if that argument went very far, but when I heard it, I thought it was a ridiculous thing to be upset about. I mean, you're acquiring a service and you're getting mad at somebody else for making money off of it? Yeah, okay. So this whole broker thing, they also charge you sometimes they'll say, oh, well, look what we offer you. Look what, if you sign up with us, you get these bells and whistles. Okay. I can tell you for certain that if they have something that is telling you how to buy a stock or which stocks to buy, it defeats the whole purpose of trading on your own. Like, you left your bank that was selling you, or not selling you, but you were getting mutual funds through them, and they're signing up for these mutual funds, and somebody else is telling you how to invest. They're telling you what to put in the mutual fund, right? They're telling you which mutual fund's best for you. You don't have a lot of say in it. It's just, here, sign up and put your money in every month, and we'll give you X amount of profit, or we'll try and get you X amount of profit. You might have X amount of loss. That's just kind of what everyone, I think, is trying to get away from. They want to have more control. So when you go to a broker that's offering you bells and whistles, What are the bells and whistles for? What do they do? How much do you have to learn to be able to use them? They're selling you stuff you really want to get away from, and you really probably don't need. And if it is helpful, it's probably takes a lot of time to actually learn how to use it properly. If you use it incorrectly, is it going to hurt you? Because if you're putting the wrong information in and it's telling you to do something and you're buying and selling in a total space that you shouldn't be buying and selling in. For instance, I signed up for a course that taught me about options. I was still very new to trading, but I thought, I knew a lot. I knew a lot about trading, but I didn't. I realize now how little I knew. And they got me onto this whole options trading. I signed up for a broker, and the broker didn't care. They're like, hey, pay us your fee. You can trade an option. And I did. So as long as I had money there, they accepted it. Now the crazy thing about it is that I did make money. My goal back then was just to make money, and I did make money. I did end up paying for the course that I took, not a lot over and above, but I made some money. So that it all ended up kind of happy, but still sad because my goals were not just to have a few extra dollars. So the brokers I was with then, made me realize that the brokers don't really care whether you win or lose. They're just there facilitating a service. And you have to realize that, like, you can look at a broker and go, oh, look what their advertisement says they're going to do this for me. Look what they're doing for me. They don't care. They just want to collect your fee, and they want to collect it every month. They're a business. And so when you start thinking, I'm dealing with a business, I have to think that way, then you have to go, okay, well, if I'm giving them something, what am I getting out of it? And if you're not getting anything out of that fee, get rid of it. And so back to WealthSimple, I came across WealthSimple once I realized I didn't need all these extra bells and whistles they told me were so good. Some of them I didn't really find helpful, and some of them actually just took too much time to deal with. So it made trading cumbersome. So WealthSimple is easy to use, no fees, check, done. So I started creating my strategy around this whole WealthSimple idea of not having to pay fees. I could go in on my coffee break, my lunch break. I could do it before I went to work. I could, any time of the day, in between appointments, I'd even do a trade. That's how quickly I could trade on WealthSimple. Now there's probably others out there that are as good. Maybe there's even some that are better. I haven't tried all of them. The point is, find one that works for you, and then you start building your strategy around what it is that you need to do. And I knew I didn't have to have any extra expenses. I could just come up with $100 and I could trade that $100. I could trade it all day without having to add any extra money. I'd only lose if I sold for a loss. If I sold for a gain, I gained. That's all it really came down to. And it kind of built my strategy around this whole thing that I didn't need a very big gain. A 1% gain was huge, right? So 1% of $10,000, I can make $100 in a day. If I have $10,000, I can trade. If you $100, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're only making $1 a day. But then you start compounding that, and you do that 100 times in a year. Wow. Okay, I've just made $100. I made 100% in 1 year. I don't have to pay fees. So if the broker's not giving you anything for those fees, get rid of them. If they're giving you stuff that you know how to use, or you're trading in a certain way that you need it, then you have to figure out how to overcome what that is. Again, my recommendation for anybody who's new to trading, learn the basics, get a broker, no fees. Get a broker that's easy to use. The harder it is to use, the more difficult it's going to be for you to get the experience you want to do, because you're so busy trying to learn how to use all these bells and whistles that are off on this side and try and figure out all the little jibber jabber that you need to know to do it. On the other side, you forget about the actual trading, where you got to look up stocks. You got to know how to trade stocks. You got to know what information is important about the stocks, what's going on in the markets. Those are the things you want to pay attention to, not all the bells and whistles, the gadgets, and all these things that everyone keeps telling you are so beneficial to you while you're trading. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick to that. So here it is. Lesson number 2. When you pick a broker, easy to use, no fees. Check out my link if you need a broker in Canada. And other than that, we'll see you for the next video.